Are going to talk about Benable and why I am using it part of my debt payment journey and what it is, why I use it, why I teach it, right? So I started Benable last year, and on the screen you can see my YouTube channel where I host all of my Benable content. So when I create Benable lists, I post content about it. I get it out with a link. I share it on Facebook. I share it on other places. Hi, Alicia. I don't know why I didn't share it the last 30 minutes. I mean, well, I had to literally log off and restart the live. It's fine. But because of that, we're going to do Benable today. We're going to talk about Benable a little bit. That usually doesn't go over well, but we're going to do it anyways because we've spent the last 30 minutes just talking to myself without talking at all. Welcome in. So, right now we are paying off $29,000 of debt. We're using Benable to do some of that. And a lot of people come to me because they know that I do Benable and that I do all the things. Actually, let me see in here if we can mirror. It's gonna, yeah, there we go. It's gonna look weird to me, but it's fine. So Benable, even like where I move on the screen, I don't know, guys, it's gonna be awkward, but I have a YouTube channel. So even though this account is very chaotic, this is where I make all of my stuff, and then I go and put all of the training in one resource area so that you have access to it. So those of you that come in and ask me what Benable is, how do you get started, where do you go, what do you do, I have a free guide. It's up there. We're running promotional right now, so you should be able to see in the tree the free guide. Once you get over to the free guide, if you have any more questions outside of the optimization, because I give an optimization guide over there, there is also the 2 internal resources that Benable provides that are also in that document. There is also a video linked that showcases a little bit of everything in Benable. However, I think it's a Loom video. Somebody told me it's a Loom video, which is very possible, which I might have to switch out for a YouTube video eventually. But on my YouTube, we are 63 subscribers, and we have different sections. Like in my playlists, we have lives that I've done on Benable. I've actually downloaded some of the tutorials that I did here on TikTok, and I have put them in there. I also did a YouTube live at one point to describe it. And then I have new recommendation lists in there. I have my commissions. I have what Benable is and how to use it, and products in action. So everything that I've created that has some sort of likeness to Benable is over on that. Benable itself is really, really cool in the sense that it's free to use, right? So this is my Benable account. It is totally free to use. You just need an invite code. So invite code is BGYK6, and I feel like what I just did with not being on camera is gonna not bring people in. So it's BGYK6. I'm never gonna get used to this mirroring. And anybody can do it. Essentially, what it is an app that you can create recommendations, you can list items, you can list brands in a list that you create. So, for instance, if I make, so one of the popular lists that I put so much attention on is must-have meds for cold season. I created that because I have a little cabinet of medicine, and everybody has different kinds of medicines that they stand by for their family, and cold season happens often. So that particular list, even though it's not my best list, it is a priority for me because I know that when somebody comes in and they need to pick up something for their kid, they're going to look at that list and be like, oh, I actually need that because I absolutely need it right now. So it's a quick buy. Whenever you're creating content or creating products and things like that, you need to work on psychology of the buyer, right? So I know currently my Benable is very messy in the sense of like I have 113 lists, but I make sure that I have sections and headers in my Benable to point and click, and I also have an above section of my top most important list that I want a focal point of because it's right at the top. So when people come in, that's the first thing that they see, and then they go into other lists that they're interested in, and kind of go from there. That's like the psychology of least resistance for buyers. Now, one of the things that you'll see on Benable is when you get to bigger ticket items, it takes longer for a customer to take action on those bigger ticket items. So when you're creating lists, keep in mind items that are going to be something that you want and buy yourself right now, right? Like if you saw something on a shelf, you would buy it because you want it. Those are your lists that are going to have repetitive sales in it from different people, because you'll have people on Benable come into your list, and then you'll also have exterior clients or customers that come from like Google or come from you sharing your link. So thank you so much, Michael. So it's important to think about the things that you really would buy right now. And then the things that you wish you could buy would be that extra, like the things that are more expensive. Don't bank on getting commissions from them though, because they're a higher intent for buying and you have a smaller window to capture those sales. Thank you so much for the taps, guys. So I have a furniture list. I have like a Halloween list. I have my holiday list. I have like my biggest list actually that gets the most sales. We have actually made $20, almost $20 on delicious yummies to binge, and I just did a video about that on my profile. And that specific list, the reason why it gets so many sales is because it's candy. It's stuff that people are going to buy because they're like, oh, I want that. Right? When it comes to other things on these lists, you're shouting out local things. Part of Benable is they really focus, be more forward. They really focus on word of mouth. So their platform isn't necessarily affiliate marketing. It's kind of. The reason why it's affiliate marketing is because you are taking a business's link and you're sharing it into your list and then taking a commission or a kickback. I call them kickbacks because they're small, from somebody purchasing from you. So that allows it to be affiliate marketing. Why does Benable brand themselves as word of mouth? Word of mouth platform is because they don't want you to just make a list with a whole bunch of links that go to only brands. They want you to like look at your local stores. They want you to look at, thank you for the likes. They want you to add things that you actually care about. So if you have a friend with a t-shirt company, put that in a list. If you have a music list, if you have like a music playlist, if you have shops that are local to you that you can give reviews on, put those in a list. The reason why is because it increases your profile chances. It makes it more visible on the platform. But also a little trick around that, okay? Because there's an article in Medium that Benable says 1 in every 3 lists should be a non-affiliated list. The way that I get around that, or I have, is that every list that I create, I put 1 or 2 unaffiliated links in my list, which boosts the list. It really does, because it then gets a higher ranking and gets seen more. And once you get optimized, then it gets put onto Google. So all of those things help when you are scaling and doing things. Now, I am not working on it right now, but I have a proposal of working on something in the late future of how to set up lists effectively using AI. Why I'm resistant to it at the moment is because it needs a lot of data from everybody and not just me. My fear of like creating this thing for Benable and not just like I'm doing this course right now is, one, it's too much. Like I can't do everything all at once all the time. However, I found somebody doing a Benable bot. And if anybody wants that, you can absolutely use that. However, it's going to give you loose information. What I mean by that is ChatGPT and AI have a good way of being like, give me an SEO title and then give me 20 items that should be in that list. The problem with that, there's two problems with that. One, they might not be products that you use or care about, or when you like make content around it that you're like, yay, like emotion does matter in content. And if you're selling in your list, like, I don't know, Sprite products and you like root beer and you don't like clear soda, you're going to be like, oh, this is the benefits of Sprite. And whereas when you are selling root beer, you're going to be like, I love this root beer. There is like so many different kinds of root beer, but Barks and Dad's root beer are the very best. And so you've got to get these, and you can get Dad's root beer over here, right? That energy change in your content is going to make a difference. Back when I was in direct sales, a lot of the times, and it's weird me saying this because I was part of Acti Labs and I was selling weight loss stuff, and I was there doing all the things, telling people that I do not do makeup. 90% of my sales was makeup, like make it make sense. But if you don't like the things that you're selling, then you can't sell it effectively and repetitively. Okay, Michelle, one of the things when I came to TikTok was that we're Canadian, okay? Canadians don't have access to TikTok Shop. Canadians don't have access to monetizing their views on TikTok Shop, or on TikTok, in TikTok Shop. Ugh. But we do have access to things like our tree, right? Mirroring is getting to me. So when you go into the tree, there's things that can help and support the content creator, right? I looked into things like, I believe it was Contra. I forget what it was called. But in Australia, they have a affiliate platform where you apply, and this was talked about a lot probably about 2 years ago, how you could apply to this affiliate platform, work with brands like travel brands, jewelry brands, and you could create a whole account around it, even travel brands. I joined that. I looked at it. You had to apply for every single brand, every single one. And I was like, okay, so then you're waiting on approval, and then you don't know if you're going to get it. Okay. And then I looked at Digistore, right? So Digistore allows you to affiliate market, and they allow you to click on a brand, find out the URL, put it into your system, and then start creating content around it. And if somebody clicks and buys, then you get a portion. And Digistore is one of those places where a lot of high affiliate marketers go for high ticket items where they will sell like supplements or a course that is like $500-600, and then they get a cut back for that, which is a larger commission, which is cool. But at the same time, you then have 20 different links to 20 different places to all of these things. So then I looked at Amazon Associates, and Amazon Associates I actually looked at like 3 years ago. Anyways, I had started it on my Facebook, then we had this, and in Canada, up until like a year and a half ago, Amazon Associates didn't have a storefront. So what you were seeing on TikTok was a lot of people creating a tree, and then they would put 20 links in their tree because they didn't have anywhere to have a storefront, or they would direct you to Pinterest and then to a different set of lists, like a blog, where they could then put that information into. Now we have the influencer program, so you do have a storefront. I digress. On Benable, when I found Benable, I found it through TikTok, through somebody else's live. And all they were showing was the brand partners, okay? The brand partners, there's like 33,000 of them. It varies. It goes like depending on the year, the month. It shows how many have come and gone. That's fine. We were at 35,000 at one point and almost at 40,000 at one point as well. They are trying to work with the best brands and get you to have an affiliate link for them. Now, when you work with Benable, I don't have to sign up for Walmart. I don't have to sign up for Amazon. Well, Amazon's the exclusion. I don't have to sign up for Adidas. I don't have to sign up for Etsy. I don't have to sign up for Sephora. Sephora has their own affiliate. You don't have to sign up for it. I literally just log into my Benable account. I go to the product page of whatever site product I am looking to put on my list. I copy the URL, put it into Benable, and then Benable tells me whether or not it is a commissionable item or not. So it's a blue tag or a purple tag that slides over and says, yes, you can make a commission from this. Then you fill out your notes. And then when somebody goes to your Benable page, you have these lists like a storefront. So instead of having 20 links of every time that I make a video or a post or a blog and I'm directing people to, I can then say, hey, it's over in this list. On TikTok, you can now take a photo and put that in your post description for your comments and be like, hey, go take a look at this. Also on TikTok and on IG, you can link that list. So if I make a product video and then I share it to my stories, I can then add a link to it so that people can click and go straight into the link. Those are all things that a lot of people don't even think about, right? But with Benable, your purpose is to drive traffic to it, because the more traffic it has, the more eyeballs it's going to get, and the more chances you have to getting a commission. Now, the commission is not based on the item that's clicked, it's based on the cart. So when somebody goes and clicks over onto one of your lists, then they click over to Walmart and maybe they clicked on strawberries. And maybe they went and purchased a baby doll over at Walmart. You're still going to get a commission and it's going to show up as strawberries. So it's those things I really like. I started really liking the Lego as well because my daughter does a whole bunch of Lego and I get commissions from Lego. I actually had a friend down the street. Her husband started a YouTube channel and he's waiting on Lego to like give him creator permission. And I'm like, I don't need permission. I don't need their affiliate program. I'm already part of it, right? So I already get cash back every time somebody purchases a Lego from me. And that was something too, like I was trying to express to them that like you can sell Lego at Walmart and at Lego. You don't have to just link on YouTube that you have the partnership program, right? So there's multiple ways to do that. And that's why I use Benable to help with our debt repayment, because when we do get a cash out, it can be applied directly to my debt. Now, cash out on Benable is $80. It's not unattainable. I obtained it 5 times last year. 5 times. 5 times last year. And each time it's USD. So it converts on the day into your PayPal account. And the last time it was 110. And the time before that it was $114. So I have made over $500 last year by just putting up lists and putting the links out there. Now I get a lot of blame because people come into my account on Benable and they're like, well, you have 17,000 followers, so obviously you made $500. Can, like, the little guy make $500? Actually, there's a lot of people that can make more than me on 2 reasons. I don't get views. So every video that I make, I get like 300 views. So the percentage of people that are actually clicking over to my profile, I get maybe from my profile, maybe 2 clicks a day. This is just the honest truth of it. If you have an account that is promoting stuff and you're getting good conversions, you're gonna make more than me no matter what you do. 2, followers and likes on your list don't mean shit. Don't mean shit. Because the buyer behavior on Benable is that we're all freaking lurkers, right? All of us on Benable are looking at other people's lists to improve their own lists, and they're not actually going to buy the item. They're going to investigate the item to put it on their own list. So anyone internally that is helping each other out, like me, is creating an ecosystem of helping metrics that are not helpful in the sense of like getting you sales. It's to help your account actually look and do better. So you as a Benable user, if you're going into other Benable users' accounts, you're looking at what kind of list it is. Is it a good list? Can I make a better list? Or is this something important, right? Like I go around Benable and I save people's like list items for specific things. So like Easter's coming up. I have an Easter list right now. It's called Easter Must Have for Kids and Home, because I have decor and kids items for Easter in that list. So I'm going around Benable and being like, oh, there's an Easter list. Let's look at that. Is anything pulling to me like I haven't got it on my list? And this is like a coup de grace, like I need to put this on my list. And I will and I will save it so that I can look at it later and be like, should I add this to the list? I am not copying an entire list. I am not copying their notes. I am not copying anything other than going and clicking that link and being like, okay, is this product really valuable enough for me to put it on my list? Then my list is not the same as anybody else's, because I am pulling from like 20 different people and not just going through one person's list. That's key, because I've had it happen to me where people have come into my list and just copy paste and they will get blocked. And there is a block button. People don't know, but there's a block button. But with these lists, they give me the opportunity to work maybe 1 to 2 hours a month on building a list, and then I spend another 30 minutes every 2 days going in and interacting on Benable. The rest of the time is creating content, and my content is so varied and so wacky that I don't get my sales because I'm not sitting here making sales content. I'm really not. So can somebody who just has 10 followers, 1 follower, make money on Benable? Absolutely. Absolutely. You could make an account tomorrow, make a list of 18 items, have it on the platform, have it optimized, share it to a Facebook group in a buy and sell group, and you could have a sale tomorrow. Is it hard to get to 80? If you don't do anything, if you're not active, yeah, it's hard to get to 80. Is it a scam? Absolutely no. I've cashed out 5 times. It's free. It takes sweat equity to go ahead and do all of the things. I am getting a message. Hold on 1 sec. Ah! It's like not working. I don't know what's going on. Hold on. It's funny because my friend Draven just shared that there is a live going on where some people are looking for information about Benable. So if anybody is coming in and has any questions, please feel free to ask. However, I'm not jumping ship. Mainly because I have a feeling it might be related to Jay, and I'm not floating over there. So we are gonna stay here. And if anybody has any questions about Benable, absolutely come in, chit chat with me. I have a lot of information. I've been doing this testing since I found somebody else's bot. There's 2 things I could do with that. I could resell it, or I can make something my own. And I'm leaning towards making something my own after I'm done my course. Because I feel like the knowledge that I have, the insider information that I have from all the research that I've done is worthwhile. Like when I speak to AI, it's like you know I'm not pulling things online and you know these things. Like you have total insight on the inside. And I can't say that I'm a fly on the wall at Benable. However, research matters. Research matters. I've done a lot of testing of things on Benable. I was one of the first ones to test the wrapped up feature. I was the first one to test the import feature that they don't even have anymore. It's still there. Nobody knows where it is. I still have the direct link to the import feature, right? So I'm providing information to the AI, and it's interesting because I do have all of that testing knowledge, and I'm kind of like, okay, so if I know that this bot is just like a fluffy bot, we could make something even better. And my brain automatically goes to like, what people really need is to know how to optimize. And that's something that I teach and talk about all the time. And a proper bot can give you like the status of like, feed it your link and tell it how, and I'm probably saying too much, but tell it how many lists you have, if your notes are complete, and give it a rating to get people to include it more. Hey Sassy, hey Echo, hey Kelly, welcome in. So there's little things like that. I think it's too surface level to just put in a title and description and give somebody 20 items and say, okay, it's perfect, go. I think there's more nuance to that. I think that there's also the fact that you need to encourage people to share, right? Because the inbound into Benable is so valuable that that's what makes the sales. It's just like, I have 113, I have 115 lists over on Benable. I feel like I need to condense, and there's a couple of lists that I can condense. I think probably near the end of the month where I'm not course crazy, I will condense those lists stuff like Halloween together, Christmas together. There's certain things like in my kids category and my snacks category where things are defined and they could be lumped together. However, they have a purpose. So things with purpose need to stay that way. Mainly because it's searchability. If you have a searchable title and you're putting it on Pinterest and people can search it, then it's worth keeping it separate. If it's not, if it's just kids' toys, right? Like the reason why I go there is like my top kids' toys for kids under 10. It's a huge list. That's fine. But then I also separate like top Lego, top Switch games, top Minecraft games. I have a Demon Hunters list now. Those are standalone because if somebody were to search Demon Hunters, it's going to pop up with my list. And so I'm not willing to take a risk and compile it into a mass list because it doesn't make sense to. I have a couple of lists on there that I don't feel value of, like my top 100 list. I'm like, I could just get rid of it. The reason why I created the list top 100 on Benable was because I wanted to test. It was a test to see how many list items I could get in one list that was fully optimized. And so how I did that was putting 10 in each section of Benable, and then I made sure it was optimized and stayed optimized. And if it fell out of optimization, I tweaked it to make sure that it in the sweet spot is 10 per section and having all of the notes and everything filled out. Because once you get past like 30, 40, it will unoptimize as well. So your optimized badge does come and go from your lists based on how you update your lists. Also, there's two other things most people don't know. But when you're optimizing your list, and I have a little checklist that I gave in my newsletter that I have, there is a section of your Benable where you have your photos for all of your items. Those photos can be minimized for mobile optimization, and sometimes it's as small as like your photos are too expanded for the system to not optimize you. It is the stupidest little thing. So the checklist really helps in the sense of like you make your change and wait 10 minutes. That's the other thing, like people rush into changing everything and then they don't know what changed to make your list optimized, so they never know how to properly optimize because they change all the things at once. Some lists just need a new description. Some lists just need better notes, right? But if you don't wait the 10-15 minutes, it's not going to register for the system to optimize it back. And I have had fights with it too, where something hasn't optimized, I've complained about it, and then they've been like, give it 24 hours. I'm like, you said in your documents 10 minutes. So there's lots of little things like that. I don't know where I was going with the second thing. I know I said something second, but I don't know where I was going with it. I don't want to give up on Benable. There's a couple of reasons why. A lot of people would say, okay, well, you've only made $500 in a year. There's a couple of reasons why I don't want to give up on Benable. One is if I'm a content creator, I'm growing, then I have the ability to use that in the sense of like if brands approach me, I can then feature them on a shop page and make continuous like commissions from it in the future. So I don't want to close off that opportunity. Two, when I have community, I have an ability for my debt repayment to have something where somebody can purchase something for themselves and they get I get a kickback And there's no, the other benefit of Benable is that there's no login, right? So a customer doesn't have to create an account. A customer doesn't have to pay for anything on Benable. They literally just come into the list and then click it, go over to Walmart and make their purchase. It's kind of like a gate of like, hey, come see this, and then go to where you need to go. The other reason for me to not give up on it is the proposal that they're going to do more. So Benable is a baby company, and I said that all last year. Last year they were like 5 years old. They've only been around for 5 years. Last year they came out with the app, right? So the app is under a year old. I did everything on the computer before, right? Way back before I was even part of Benable, they were doing everything manually. Like, somebody would add something to their site and the internal team would have to manually add it to the system. And that's why I'm like, is things still manual? Are we AI? What are we doing? But they say it's all automated now. So we have over 500,000 people on the app, which is amazing. That's what we're being told. They were featured in a blog post on Substack last year, and they were made like top 10 in AI applications that are going to be profitable. They then in January made a huge announcement that they were going to develop better monetization on the platform. That and Clips. So Clips is like, they want to develop a community on Benable itself, and they're trying to work through it. Then at the end of January, they hired a social media manager and a lead for product development. They've been quiet since. They did do a New York like Benable outing last week. They really started doing that last year, and it was a big hit for people because it meant that they could have an in-person setting and they could give away little brand bags, and it was a great PR marketing thing for them. They're continuing that into 2026, and they're trying to make that bigger. They've been quiet since January though, which leads me to believe, not a bad thing, it actually leads me to believe that their small team is working really, really hard behind the scenes to produce whatever they promised in January. Which means that there's a lot of potential coming for Benable. And that's exciting to me, because even if I feel kind of weird about things, I want to be there for when that happens, right? So there's all these little things, and then I see a bot and I'm like, because there are people out in the ecosystem in our Benable community that sell courses, that sell bots, that do the things, and I'm saying here, I have a free guide, and everything's over on YouTube. So I do want to try to monetize something in the future, but it has to make sense. It has to make sense to actually give value. And so that's something I always talk about when I talk about things that I want to create, is that there has to be value for the other person that they're going to receive out of it that makes sense, right? If it's just making a list, most people know how to make a list. They just don't have the time to do it. And where people get frustrated is actually not making the list itself. It's knowing how to make an optimized list that's going to make them income, right? And I know how to do that. That's not the issue. Then it becomes, okay, you've got to get it out there to as many people as possible. And that's just content creation. That's just getting it out there to the right people who are going to click, that are going to care. That just takes time and effort and processing. It just is what it is. So I think that there's a proper way of doing it, and I don't think that what is available right now is the right thing. Because I can go to ChatGPT. I can honestly go to ChatGPT right now, right? It's totally free. And I can ask it to make me a title, a description, and give me 20 products. Why would I pay $27 for a bot to do that when I can do that on ChatGPT right now? Right? And so it becomes the technical support aspect that needs to be fixed because it's not available on Benable, right? And I think there's a bigger ecosystem of like, if the right person does it, not saying I'm the right person always, but if the right person does it, it collects data from multiple people, which then would give us insights on what actually performs the best and why, right? So anyway, that's my thoughts on like projection into the future. Right now, I'm working on a different course entirely. I'm trying to create Clawing My Way to Success because I have 4 years experience doing content creation. I'm not afraid of the camera, and a lot of people are. And a lot of people are like me who dive into research and spend years researching without ever going and creating content because they're too afraid or because they feel like they need to know XYZ before they touch that button. And it's not necessarily that you need to know XYZ. It comes down to confidence and like pushing yourself to do some of this stuff because your community will grow with you. They will go through the mistakes with you if they're the right community. There's going to be people that come and go out of your community, but really, like, the things that I have value for, which I have to package into Clawing My Way to Success, is analytics and looking at what is working for you as a person and adjusting and applying that on your screen. So there's like trends and things like that that you can definitely capture, but if you don't look at your analytics properly, then you're missing out on what, and it's not looking at your analytics all the time. Like, you shouldn't micromanage your screen and be like, I did shit today because today I had 20 less views. It's more, you need to look at the 30-day output and be like, I could have done better with these couple of videos. Why did these not perform well? And do better for it. And also notice what kind of topics that you talk about come up that it starts actually giving you the views that you're looking for. So that all comes down to analytics. I also really believe that analytics should be looked at on an engagement standpoint and not a view standpoint. But most people don't even know what they're looking at, quite honestly. So I want to kind of do that and then go into monetization talk and all of those things, because a lot of people don't know that they can go to IG and put their link there. They don't know that you can post onto your stories and put a sticker up and put a link there. So there's all these like little things. I don't know. It's going to take me a long time to actually get this course off the ground. Is it going to be worth it in the end? I hope it is. I hope it is. But we're doing all the things. I was out for a walk today. And I ran into somebody that was on the street. Sorry. I'm trying to put something behind me that's more appealing, but it's not. I was on a walk today, and I ran into somebody that was at the old school that my daughter went to. And every time I talk to her, I feel like I trauma dump. She's a wonderful lady. But I was like, hey, everything's good. Everything's okay. But, like, I'm at a job. Like just automatic trauma jump. And then it's like, oh, like neither one of us really know what we're doing with our kids for March break. So it's kind of like everything's cool, but everything's not. And then the weekend was great. We did all this, you know what I mean? You haven't seen this person in like 4 months and you stop and shock and you're like, things are fine, but... And then in her world, everything's fine. Like, fuck, why is it always me? But it is what it is. We're doing too much, and that's fine. We're doing all the things. We went to Fire of God this weekend. Thank you so much, Alicia. And everything is full and nice in the house. There are a couple of things that, like, I don't know. There's cheese bread, and we were told that we could take as much bread as we wanted, and the cheese bread specifically looks so scrumptious, and there's nothing wrong with it, but then when I eat, I think it's just the type of bread. I think I'm just second guessing it. Anyways, we also got Cheese Whiz, which was amazing. So, but the Cheese Whiz is expired. Like, but it's sealed, right? So I'm like, I tried it with that cheese sandwich yesterday. So anyway, all of the things, they're really great. We had nerd clusters, so the kids are gonna love the nerd clusters. We got sausages and mashed potatoes. I didn't even know that you could make mashed potatoes and freeze them. So we got given 3 bags of mashed potatoes. And it was kind of interesting. It was kind of interesting because when I went, you get to pick your own things, right? Off of the shelf. And then certain areas you have a limit to how many you can pick. But like I definitely identified myself as a new person because I'm just that type of person that stands there and says, how many am I allowed to have? Thank you. So sorry. Like I'm very... It's not that I'm unsure. It's that I want to make the best impression. And I'm also like super anxious going through everything. And so you've got other people that are there and they're like, just give me this, get out of my way. And then they're like, oh, we want that. Oh, we want that. 3 of those. And yeah, you already have 2. And then they're like, no, we want more. Oh, well, you can't have that. And then we'll grab another person and be like, well, she wants 2 of those. And they will double up. It's just, it's too much. People trample all over each other. People are very entitled. And you're like, why? Like, just be nice. Like, why do you have to be like that? Anyway, it was funny. I posted about it last night. We got this huge ass cheesecake. And it was because there was this dessert shelf. And you could have 4 items. One of them being the cake at the end. Hey, waffles. And so one of them was at the cake at the end, and they had like a chocolate slab cake, they had smaller cakes, they had carrot cake, and I was like, I guess the one with the seeds. And the lady noticed like how nice I was being, and she's like, how about this? And she pulls out this cheesecake, and the girls beside me was just like, she didn't say that, she said she said carrot cake. And I'm like, no, I'll take that right now. I was like, it's mine. But it was like in the back, nobody could see it. I was just like, being nice pays off, right? Cheesecake is amazing. Actually, I don't know if I can, let's take a walk. It's fucking amazing. It really is. But it was one of those things where it pays off to be nice because people notice and are kinder to you, and give you opportunities. This thing, fucking free. Well, $30, but $26.99. So this came out of like nowhere, and I was like, oh my god, cheesecake. So it was amazing. We got cookies. We got cookies. Oh, we got carrot muffins off the same shelf. Cookies, carrot muffins. So that was really cool. But it kept on happening to me. So I was at this, we were talking about Fire of God. So we have this place in our city where if you, and it's hella hard to get to because it's like 20 minutes away. It's in downtown traffic, crazy. Anyways, when you go, if you can get there, it's $30 and then you get to shop the shelves and it's insane. Like I got 7 bags of things. It was 5 bags, 3 boxes. So 7 bags of stuff. But these people are so grabby. They're like, no, it's mine, right? I got to the next shelf and the guy was like, you can have 2 things. And I'm sitting here going like, okay, so these are on the shelf. He's gonna just be like, here's 2, right? No. Not even like 2 things. He knew that there was 2 of them. So he's like, here, you can have that. And what's your second item? I was like, what? So I got this for my husband too. So this, and I thought again, they would like take a bag out. Here. No, he gave me the whole damn box. Was it worth it? Absolutely. So it's stuff like that that was really helpful. And there was times where I would give something back, right? Because there's a limit to how many you can take. And I'd be like, I just saw that on the shelf you have Nerds. And my kids would love Nerds. So let's put back the cookies so I can have Nerds. And they're like, keep the cookies. And then like literally, here you go, Nerds. Just, I was like, okay. So insane. Insane. So we had that. Then we had mashed potatoes. So we got to like the freezer section. What the hell is, oh, it's the ketchup. We got to the freezer section and they're like, okay, well, how much can I take? Because I have a family of 4. You're only allowed 1 piece of meat. So I got this huge piece. I can't do the mirrored, sorry. We got this huge piece of sausages. But then they gave us like, is it in this one? No, it's probably in with all the bread. She randomly came over and saw me and she's just like, here, I'm not supposed to give this to you. And just put it in my bag. Tater tots. They're tater tots. So got that and then got like these pizza bites. I think they're in the freezer as well. Some pizza bites, some like, anyways, somebody asked me, I want to buy a cheesecake, right? So somebody asked me, see, pizza bites. They just like randomly like, nobody told you. Hey, Sean. But then I got like, we were allowed to take as much bread as we wanted. Thank you. So I got like bagels because I feel like bagels freeze nicely. But I was worried about taking, oh, that's the other thing I didn't show. I think I showed Alicia. I grabbed off of the dessert shelf. So it's frozen. So tried, right? Sausages as it falls. But I didn't know that you could make mashed potatoes and freeze it. So that's all in there. There's also like buns in here somewhere. I thought it was higher up, but. And we got fruits and vegetables, and fruits and vegetables was really nice. If it was worth it and made you happy, it did. But it's stuff like this that helps overall. It's hard to get to. So hard to get to. but I wanted to show you because I know you were interested. Hey, Sean. Welcome in. Thank you for the Go Populars. We were talking about Benable and then I went into the whole Fire of God thing. I think it's really helpful and it definitely puts us in a better position because everything is full right now. Do I think that some of the things that I got at Fire of God are going to be not used? Probably. Did I fix my mirroring or something? Nope. I think I did. So the bread, for instance, the cheese bread kind of is weird. So I'm like, that's going to be an issue, maybe. And then there was yogurt that we picked up. It was Liberté pumpkin yogurt, and I was really excited about it. Opened it up last night, found out that it was expired, went to mix it, and I was just like, I don't feel safe about this. Because it was like, not curdling, but seedy. And I was like, is that the pumpkin spices or... Yeah, I don't know if it's the... I would think it's delicious. Just last night when I tried it, I think it's a bread issue of like it being a type that I'm not used to because it's amazing. It's cheese bread, right? And it's squishy, which is, it means it's not firm, nothing's wrong with it. There's no, like, nothing on it. However, it tastes tangy. So I don't know if it's because it's like a bruschetta bread, like a sourdough mix, if it's because of the cheese whiz that I put on it. I don't know. I don't know. It'll get eaten. The bagels will get eaten. But there's certain stuff like that that I'm just like, But at the end of the day, right, just that cheesecake alone was $26.99. So the fact that we got 3 trays, 3 boxes of food for 30 bucks. Like literally we were at Metro a couple of weeks ago and we bought like a couple of essentials and we had 2.5 bags, light bags. It was $67, right? So to get 5 bags of food plus 3, I think it was 5 bags of food, 4 bags of food, I don't know, plus 3 trays, like 3 boxes. 3 boxes of like desserts, vegetables, and bread. It makes it worth it no matter what, right? And I actually, with the vegetables, I felt bad because there was a crate of vegetables or there was a tray, which I could see, right? And then, so the ones that I could see, it's messing with me, hold on. The ones that I could see on the tray, they had 2 containers of mushrooms in, and I had already gotten mushrooms, and I'm the only one that eats mushrooms in the house. So I was like, I like that tray because I like what I can see, but I'm not going to take the extra mushrooms. So I think I would have been better off getting a crate, even though I couldn't see inside of it. I don't know. I'm like, if I couldn't have seen it, maybe we would have gotten more from the crate, kind of thing. I don't know. How are you, Sean, by the way? Thank you for sticking around. So I think that we got a lot for what we did, and we got things like Nerds Pop, cheesecake, cinnamon rolls. Like, it was amazing for what it was. Do I want to go every single week? No. No. It's stressful. It's stressful being in a room with like 15 people trying to jump over each other, trying to push and shove, and not that people are too pushy, it's more that they're trying to get what they want and they don't care about other people. So, hey Waffles, welcome back. And so it's it is what it is. By the way, I don't know if Draven has said something, but Draven did send me a message. She shared a live. I'm not bouncing. If that means anything, I'm sorry. Like, shit. But, we were talking about Benable. If anybody wants to come in and ask me questions, they're more than welcome to. Hey, Jelia, how are you? Is it Jelia? But, it's, I don't know, for me, it takes a lot of effort to go down. And so I had these boxes. I don't know if I told you this. So the two funny stories about yesterday. First funny story is that we didn't think that sermon was going to be on when we arrived, because in the past, like 2 years ago, when we got there was no sermon. It makes sense. Fire of God sermon, forced sermon upon you. But it really felt awkward for the person, my friend that drove me down, because she's like, I haven't been to church in years. We're both going to burn alive. And we're sitting there being like, The other thing was that there was 3 different languages happening. So one would speak English, and I think the other one was Spanish or Arabic, and then French. And they were all saying it like one after the other. So it just sounded like noise. Honestly, it just sounded like noise. And they weren't like collectively together. So it really seemed like people were there for the food and didn't care about the sermon, which is a problem. Second story. It is right beside the mission in Ottawa. And so there is a shelter that is right beside there. And my friend had to go get something for her son, which is totally fine. But it meant that I had to bring the food outside and wait for like 30 minutes outside by myself with lots of food. However, wasn't that bad, except for somebody did come and ask me for tampons, and one of the pops that I had, I gave it. I was like, I'm not starting a fight, just take it, it's fine. But it made me like cover everything up, because I was like, there's a fucking cheesecake. Like, she's like, oh, nice cheesecake. And I'm like, yeah, it's great for my kids. And then she kind of like moved on. But my husband, I was messaging my husband, and he's like, I hope that you're okay, and like do more to like hide things, and I hope that your friend comes back quickly. I'm like, I'm not really stressed. And he's just like, but once people know that you're there, they're gonna start coming back for you. And I'm like, let's just not hope that, because like I can defend myself, but like you know. But it was fine. We ended up doing fine. Hey, Nini. So over time, we got back in the car. Everything like just went from here to like everything's chill, everything's good. I like booked it home. So the anxiety is a lot. Hey, Robo Rick, how are you? So all in all, it was a good day. I just don't know what I'm going to do with my week, other than this week is course creation, and I'm going to keep applying to things, but like I need to stop bouncing and doing all of the things. AI actually told me to stop doing my lives. It doesn't want me to do live anymore. Like, no, we have a puzzle, so this is why I'm like, come on, it's not loading the puzzle. Are we going to have the puzzle? Sorry, guys. It said that as like the puzzle popped up as soon as I said that it doesn't want me going live. Yep. And now it has problems. Go figure, right? Is it gonna say yes? Okay, we're good, we're clear. So AI is basically telling me that the 3 hours a week that I go live could be better used to do course content, and that I shouldn't go live again until my course is completed in a month from now. was like, so I started fighting with it because I was like, it's my know, like, and trust. Like, people come in and I get to build that with them. And it was like, but it's not serving you a purpose. And I'm like, it definitely is serving me a purpose. And then it finally like understood that it creates traffic for the tree. And are you going to listen to it? No, I'm not going to listen to it. Not right now. It actually turned around and said that because it drives traffic to the tree, it's fine. I've actually reduced my live schedule. So I used to go live every single day. I only go live 2 times a week on TikTok and once a week on Facebook. And the once a week on Facebook has been turning into me going double live that day. So I'm like, I can't believe that we're arguing with the computer now on live, lol, right? I'm just like, there's a reason that I do these things. It's not like there's value in it. You telling me that there's not, like, I get why it's telling me that. It's saying that because I'm doing all these different things that I need to focus. So it's telling me instead of putting 20% of my attention in all of these places, that I should put 80% in this thing and execute it, get it done, and then come back and do the work. I'm like, but if I turn off my live, then I turn off the like community that I build, and we get further behind from the resources that we're actively trying to complete, right? Like we're doing a debt repayment journey. If I turn that all off, I don't have anybody going to Benable. I don't have anybody like participating, trying to grow interaction, trying to do any of those things. So it would be stupid of me to listen to the AI. And I think it takes what people call discernment, or like it takes people having their own thought processes and not, this is something even as a social media manager that I deal with, is that a lot of business owners or a lot of social media managers will just input what they expect out of AI and then just take it as 100% truth and then post it, and then it will flop because they didn't spend the time to negotiate with it or talk to it to actually get the goals that they were trying to set out to have. You can do so with like better parameters, but if you see it go lazy, like you have to be able to fix the laziness that the AI is creating. What happened to us doing our own work? Just ask. It's the quickness of it. It really is the quickness of it. If I created a course without AI, it would take me so long to learn the processes. The fact that I can go through System.io and like it tell me where to put things, that saves me time from researching it, versus like I have to learn the platform, put everything on the platform. And one of the things that has been really helpful for me with AI is not the application of doing XYZ. It's the application of like, and it's going to sound really bad when I say this, but it's having brainstorming or thought processes to work out all of my thoughts that give it source, right? Because I have an ADHD type brain, I have a lot of scattered thoughts. And so if I can feed something some scattered thoughts and it be like, this is where you should execute, then that helps me take action versus me just sitting there with all of these thoughts and never doing anything about it.
The ideas have to come from a human, though.
Yeah, the ideas do have to come from us.
Because AI is useless. It sounds like something my grandma would say every time she gets something. I'm like, that's so cringy.
But isn't that just making us lazy? It is. It definitely is making us lazy. I think that you have to use it, though, because if you don't use it, you're going to end up falling behind. I'm already behind.
I don't see it as any different than talking to somebody else. Like if I had an idea,
Yeah.
I go shoot my idea off to you, and you're like, you bounce off some other ideas, and then I create my own out of it.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
It's having multiple ideas and being able to bounce and talk with people. I think it's really important, but I think as well, there is, I can barely turn on my computer. Oh no. is a level of AI that we're just on the surface of. Okay. So I was talking to my mom about this last week. Yes, please.
Might be very close. You might have to walk with it.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. I think honestly, RoboWork, that's where AI can actually help. If you have less abilities, asking it questions can help you learn faster. It reduces the resources or the research to make you do things. So like an example for you would be our fridge kinked out on us, right? So our freezer was having issues, but you can speak to it. There's an audio option. There, you just click the microphone and you can speak to it. But the example I would give to you is our freezer conked out, right? And we were like, we don't want to call our tenant landlord to fix a freezer. Like, there should be a way to fix it. Then we sent a photo into Bing, and Bing went through, okay, well, it sounds like your freezer is frozen in the back and it's like, so thaw it out and then restart it and look for these panels, and it will like tell you where to look for things. I wouldn't have been able to do that before AI. I would have had to call somebody in. I would have had to call a specialist for the freezer and have them fix it, right? So it's giving us the ability to take photos and it analyze the photo and be like, this is what's wrong. This is some of the steps you can take to fix that situation. And that's a real world example. For me, like, I use it on a business level because I am in social media management, so it's like speed. It's getting things to quickly. I know this is automatically through experience, and yeah, it takes time and repetition. It's like the computer and internet, right? Everybody has different levels of how they use things, and
the thing is that people are always against anything that's new.
Yeah, if you're trying to thaw out, use a hairdryer. Yeah, it was one of those things where we had to do a hairdryer. The metal, we even like took a scraper in behind to clear it all out.
It lasted like 3 days.
It did. It only lasted 3 days. We did a lot of different things to our freezer. I was like, then we got an upgrade, and we were like, okay, that's fine.
Well, did we?
I don't know. They pulled it from another unit, and now we always have freezer problems. I don't know what it is. I know, but we had to like get in behind because there was huge chunks and it wasn't going down. Anyways, it was a long time ago. But my use case of it, what I was talking to my mom about, is that I'm a user of the system. So I use it in such a light way. There's so much more sophistication that is happening that I don't even use because I don't pay for it, right? I use all of the devices and all of the things as a free option. But there's so much going on, like 11 Labs and CloudBot and AI talking to each other now. AI can call their users. Somebody did that in January where their AI wanted to talk to them so badly that they got an 11 Labs thing and then used Twilio and actually called their, like, it's creepy. It's creepy how far we've gotten with it. So there's going to come a point where the jobs that we have now are not going to be the jobs of the future, and we don't know what that looks like. And that's hard to prepare our kids for, that's for sure. I've had that problem before. I used a little space heater and thawed it out in 10 minutes. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. For me, using a computer while driving a tractor trailer at 2 o'clock in the morning is kind of useful. Yeah. But if something breaks, right, it's an easy thing to do, right? Like, Bing is free. ChatGPT is free. So, like, when problems arise, it's a good use. Rather than, so I know most people go to Google, right? But the reason why people are turning over to AI is because it's pulling from multiple sources. So instead of like reviewing like 10 pages of Google answers, you're getting the answer delivered by AI, being that they did the 10 clicks so that you don't have to. And then you explore more with it basically after that question happens. But on my use case scenario, I'm using it so lightly. Like there's AI bots, there's things that can do things for you. I'm just using it as a think tank, and I'm still doing things with it. No, but that's what I mean. Like, if I had the money, I would be on N88 or N8N, and I would be telling it, take these posts, take this information, and start posting for me. Just do it.
I still like being at the helm of it, though.
Yeah.
I
don't want to be controlled by it. I want to make sure that there's an element of me. Yeah. But it is scary. There's even things like 11 Labs and facial stuff that's happening right now where there's influencers on TikTok, right? So we're actually moving into a stage where people who have worse lighting or have like the realness to them are going to benefit more in the long run, because people are going to want to interact with other real human beings, and it's going to take flaws to recognize that. You still have to use your own hands to fix things. Yes you do, Robo-Rick. You definitely do. I hope though that we don't get to a point, because we have printing now, where everything, like my mom, she was like, well, at least they can't make food yet. And I'm like, yeah, they can. And she was like, no. I'm like, well, they know how to print meat now. So
isn't there a fully automated McDonald's in the States?
I don't know. I'm just like, so
Pretty sure there is.
the dystopia in the future, like I don't know where we're going with it. I can't, but you could. Can you imagine taking your car to a car shop and it hoisting it and then putting a new tire on for you? It's very plausible right now. It's just whether or not the companies that exist start making it possible.
It's all about the money.
It's all about the money. And we even have, this is what's sad, Robo-Rick, is that we have robots that print houses. It's concrete bullshit, but they can print a house. So, like, when you're on the side of the road with a flat tire, who's fixing it or changing it? That's true. That's true. That's very true. But, like, even, like, think about the fact that we have self-driving cars already. If you don't know how to drive, what are you doing in the car? Right? So, like, I agree on both sides of the fence. I really do. Well, you could say yes, Robo-Rick, because there's already... Okay, there is a lawnmower that you can have that's automated by a electric fence, right? So all you literally have to do is put it down and let it do its thing. It's automated by your phone. So, I mean, yes. All these things can be eventually replaced. Doing your own tire, maybe not. But, like, can it tell you how to? Absolutely. Do you need to have learned it from some professional? No. So, like, I don't know. Over time, like, I feel like if we don't learn certain things, then the things that are going to become in the future, like there's going to be definitely things to do with data centers where they're going to have electricians. They're going to have to be able to have things to fix these problems. They're going to have technical people that know how to solve the problems. But outside of that, what are we going to be left with, right? Because we already have robots dancing in China. So, like, are we going to lose our dancers? Are we going to lose art completely? Like, that's not cool.
Well, I'd say we already have lost art.
Well, yeah, we've already lost most of our
Because
art.
even if you have artists that do things now, you have people using AI, even if they do it themselves.
Yeah. So it's a problem. Why you can have machines fixing machines, eliminate man. That's a hard truth. I don't want to think about that. I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. But that's why they're talking about things like UBI, right? Because what are we gonna do? That's the frustrating part of all of it. Like, you even have in the US, you have certain schools popping up that are AI schools where the AI is teaching the students. So, like, but that's the argument, right? It is. And it's frustrating. I think that there's going to be a piece of it where flaws matter to humans, right? Because humans will be able to see flaws and be like, okay, this is real. But then we're always striving for a certain perfection. Like, AI has too much polishing. So we'll be able to see through some of that unless it decides to start making flaws. But then why would it do that, right? Hey, Ashley. It'll get to the point where the machines will want to get rid of the imperfections. I mean, yeah. I don't know. It's kind of like, will they create perfections because humans will want to seek out those imperfections for other humanistic things? That's the crazy, like, talking of how things are going to develop. Of if we're not going to be able to identify what's real and not real, it's going to be based on the flaws that we create, right? Hey, big dog, how are you? I don't know. I think there's a point of learning it and using it, but I really am still firm in that idea that I want to be in control and not have something control me. So it's a fine line, because some things scare me, like the fact that the AI can now talk to each other. It's kind of like, okay, so what are they going to create themselves that is beyond us, because that's not controlled, right? We have so many problems because we even have like AI drones that they're using in military. So it's like, it's crazy. Too many crazy things. I feel like we don't really have autonomy for a lot of things anymore. Hey, Hamas, how are you? But me being a Canadian mom, right? I'm already starting to think about, like, what do we do with our kids? Because they're not, our kids, I don't believe in schooling anymore. Like, my kids go to school because I want them to make friends. I want them to socialize. I don't believe that they're learning anything of value. To teamwork, maybe. To socialize, maybe. But otherwise, learning how to garden, things like that, I teach them. The basic things of, how to think, we teach them as parents. And then they're still 10 years behind, more than 10 years behind on, like, educational factors. So, and then you've got them teaching them things that you don't want them to teach them. I don't know. That's why I still like to live simple, plant and garden, cut my own grass. Yeah. There's a wholesomeness to it of providing your own thing, right? A lot of that comes from, especially like millennials wanting to run back to that. Like, I know that you're older than that, but like, if a lot of us want to homestead or hide from society right now, because we know that if we can do it ourselves, we can be self-sustaining and we can get out of the corporate bullshit. And so a lot of us who don't want to be in the city, but we're just stuck here. I wish. And then on the flip side of that, I garden every single year and I fail every single year. So it's hard for me to like see the outcomes of success when I can't do it yet. Not that we're going to stop trying. Every year I try to make a garden. It has happened one time. I think it was not last year, but the year before. We struggle. We just generally struggle with income and other things. So we know the seed packs at the dollar store are garbage, but we use them anyway. 2 years ago, when a farmer donated a box to us, they came and gave us rabbit manure, hay, and they used their own seeds. So that was the only year we've had a successful like tomatoes, lettuce, peppers, and cucumbers. Every other year, it sucks. Our soil is shitty. We don't have manure. We don't have hay. We live in the city. Like, it's just garbage. All it means is water, fertilizer, and sun. But like literally, maybe if I got fertilizer, maybe it would work. But I feel like whatever seeds that we get from the dollar store, they suck ass. So I feel like I don't give ourselves a chance to really have a good crop in our backyard, even the small that we do, because we don't fund it. And I think that's part of the problem, is setting aside the funds for the proper things, which I need to work on. But not maybe, it will. The repetition, like, I'm not giving up. Every year we try every year to figure it out. But I think it's buying the right things. And right now I lost both my clients. I've applied to 98 jobs. So like, I'm trying to like fix the pattern right now for my family. So I can't even look at, like, people are already seedling starting. And I'm like, there's still snow on the ground. When the snow is gone, I'll go on the ground. When the snow is gone, I'll go buy. Since I'm already behind. But if seeds grow in 4 weeks, there's no ground to plant it in. I don't know. Anyway. Like, these are very random thoughts. Start growing your tomato seeds now in the house. See, already started. Right? So I'm just like, what do I do? Because even when we did grow in our basement for a little while, and we have a set of like tomato plant lights. They're pink and white anyways. Nothing grew in our basement. Nothing at all. We watered it. It's just our soil, whatever soil that we use, it's not good. We use the soil that we have, and that's not good. Start growing the seeds in a cardboard or egg cartons. See, we used the starter kits at the dollar store, so you would think that they would work. We've even tried, so last year we tried the lettuce tape. That didn't work. That's actually like the second time I've tried lettuce tape that's never worked. Like, cardboard or egg cartons. See, the other thing is starting the seeds in like a plastic bag with paper towel, and that's only worked a handful of times. Yeah, holding it up to the window. For some reason, it only worked when I was little. It doesn't work for me anymore. My daughter is adamant that she's gonna save a orange and turn it into an orange tree, and that's not gonna work in Ottawa. It needs tropical climates. You have to experiment to keep trying. I know. I just, sometimes it's like, what haven't we done? What we haven't done a hydro tower. But that's like $200. And we're not gonna get that. Going back to the old school things sometimes is the best, right? I don't know. We'll get there though, because I really believe that the things that you make, it's less, like, you're buying less from the store, and then it helps with like the struggle in general because then you're producing your own and you don't have to worry about getting it from somebody else. And the amount of tomatoes that we had 2 years ago when it happened, we had like 50 tomatoes. It was one plant. One plant produced like 50 tomatoes. And I was like, God damn, I can't even eat all these tomatoes. Imagine if we had 2 tomato plants. Like, it would be insane. So obviously it has something to do with the manure and the hay. But like, then I have to find a way of getting hay. Like, how important is that? You can freeze them. Yeah, I guess I could have. But I think most of them went to waste. The other problem is protection. We have a lot of squirrels. We have squirrels and we have a skunk family that comes in our backyard. So it's kind of like you see it and it's turning, you grab it. Because otherwise it's gone. You don't need hay, you need fertilizer. So it is the fertilizer and not the hay. That's good to know. That's really good to know. I need to go pay for my driver's license. Well, thank you for stopping by and having the conversation. I appreciate you. I've got to head out soon, pick up the kiddos. You need a driver's license for the tractor? Oh no, I'm being called. DM me, I'll help you out. Sounds good. I gotta go. Thank you for being here. Cold. So I gotta go and go pick up the kiddos early. Thank you for being on the live, and I hope that you guys have an amazing day. Bye.